Hey everybody, welcome back to Game Saga's Let's Play of Chrono Trigger for the Super Nintendo. As you can see, we're in the future here, and we're going to the factory to proceed with that part of the game. And we're talking to the computer here to get through, because we can't go on the left side obviously, since that's going to push us back down. And Robo overrides it to let us in. But we gotta fight one of these stupid acid enemies. Why are they stupid? Because of that. You only do between 1 to 10 damage per hit, usually on the lower end of that scale. They don't have a lot of health, but even so, it takes a few turns to kill them sometimes. In that case, we got pretty lucky. We killed it in only 2 moves. But even so, they're still annoying. And we'll see a lot of them in the factory, along with their green one as well. It's a palette swap that's a different enemy. I couldn't really remember where I was supposed to go in here. Like I said before, it's been a while since I played through the game all the way. And I thought that was a ladder down, but apparently it was not. So I'm looking around for treasure and that sort of thing. Of course, trying to avoid those enemies, because if you touch them, you will get grabbed and have to fight a bunch of enemies. So we're running against the conveyor, and here I ran into him, so you can see what I was talking about. That claw grabbed me, and it's going to throw me up here on the other side of the screen. And I'm going to have to fight a bunch of enemies in succession without being able to access my status menu. Which is annoying, but they're not that difficult. Just take a few turns to kill. I think I was trying to decide whether I wanted to use attack on them or not. And I decided I would heal instead. And we just got that particular heal spell. That was Aura Beam, which is that dual tech for Robo and Marley. And it heals your entire party at the same time, which is nice. Because Aura, on its own, only heals one party member. I think there's about 3 or 4 of these battles we gotta do before we are done with this part. And more of these guys. Got the Proto 3, which is what we just fought, and the debuggers, which you might have seen at the beginning of the factory. They were hanging on the wall. We didn't go that direction, but they were there. I used Cyclone on them with Chrono, but it didn't kill any of them, unfortunately. But I weakened them enough so I could take them out with the next hit. And we got Laser Spin there for Robo and Rocket Roll, which is a dual attack for Robo and Chrono, and that will attack all enemies on the screen. So like here we've got a group of 5 of them that I think I'm going to be using that here, and as you'll see, that will damage all of them at the same time. Which is nice, because Cyclone will only do within the immediate vicinity of where Chrono is. And it does a good chunk of damage too, as you see. Did over 100 each for each enemy. Didn't kill any of them yet, but I'll be dead momentarily. If they can stop attacking me, so I can get a hit in. And I did Rocket Roll again just to make it go a little bit faster. And that should be it for all 5 of them. Alright, we're done with that part finally. Now we got these beetle guys. We're gonna try to avoid them, but we might not be able to. Then I remembered I needed to change the battle speed and the battle message speed, so I was trying to do that. I couldn't remember how to do it, but then I remembered you gotta click the A button on the icon that's in the second column from the left, and that enables the options there to change the speeds, and you can change both of those. And I was just looking at the other ones to make sure there wasn't anything else I had to change. I don't know what the difference between the two battle gauge settings is, but maybe it's a styles thing or something like that. I just left that at the default. See, I tried to avoid them and I ended up getting them anyway, but that's okay, these guys are pretty weak. And they had the very creative name of Bug. That's all they are, they're bugs. What kind of bug? Who knows? Just some sort of bug. In this case, Chrono got to take out all 4 of them at one time, because they were grouped up nicely. I like when that happens, because that makes things go a lot quicker. We're on the top portion of this same area that we were just in before. I don't know why I kept saying I was clicking on the lower chest there. I was not, I was on the upper chest, but oh well. That code you just got there off the computer, you have to use that to access the crane and move the barrels that are blocking your path. Which is what we're going to do momentarily. And Chrono was about dead there, so I decided I would do Aura Beam to heal everybody up. Just don't want anybody to die, so that would be bad. And these guys take a while, they do. Well, it looks like it might be a counterattack. I'm not sure if it really is or it's just them taking their turn, but either way it's annoying and takes a while. I was trying to see if I could use the multi-healing abilities outside of battle, but apparently you cannot. You can only use the individual ones, which is stupid in my opinion. But oh well. I just wanted to heal Chrono anyway. This is the main one I was concerned about. Got some more of these robot dudes in here. And they're pretty slow, unlike the other ones, so we can easily avoid them. This is the crane I was talking about. You've got to enter the codes here to move the 2 barrels. No, at this point I had forgotten what the codes were, so I think I'm gonna have to go back to look at the computer again so I can get what they were. Because I didn't bother to write them down, which I probably should have. So it's XA and then BB are the codes you need to use. Somehow I avoided those guys, even though it looked like one of them ran into me. And I didn't think I ran into that one, but the game thought otherwise. So I'm gonna have to fight these 2 guys, unfortunately. These guys are pretty tough compared to some of the other enemies in this factory, because I just hit him with all 3 characters and it didn't die. It took 4 hits to kill one of them. Well, for physical attacks anyway. Sure loves that red laser beam type attack, whatever it is. It's very irritating. They do it several times per battle. And then you think you're done, but no, wait, you got these 2 debuggers that decide to pop in immediately afterwards. But they're pretty weak, so not that big a deal. Still annoying though. Marley learned Provoke, which I think is a charm or confusion ability, I forget which. Not very useful, but it's something. Alright, now we're moving one of the barrels out of the way, as you can see. And this will enable us to go back to where we were before and proceed to the next area. Once we move the other one. Because if you don't move the barrels, you don't have the pathway clear and you can't go that direction. Now where the barrels go after this, who knows? They just go off into the factory somewhere down the conveyor belt. Alright, we're done with that part. And we managed to get through there without triggering those enemies, which is good. We got a robin bow, that's obviously from Marley, so she's the one who uses bows. It's a nice upgrade for her. I decided to go ahead and use tonics to heal my party this time. Save the magic points for battle. We got the bolt sword, that's obviously for Chrono, another upgrade. This computer tells us another code we're going to have to use. That is Xaby, which is X-A-B-Y. And unlike the crane codes, when you get to the machine you have to use this one on, it will actually tell you that it is Xaby, but it spells it out Z-A-B-I-E. Which is actually the button commands X-A-B-Y, like you saw on that computer screen. And this looks like a door right here, but it's really not. It's just a hidden area where you can get a treasure chest back in there. There, you see I got it there. There's a mid-ether. Alright, we're going back up to the first floor now. And when you go through the corridor there, you trigger those debuggers. So you gotta fight them. And their electric ability they do there is kind of annoying as well. Doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but just takes forever to animate. Alright, now we're going down to the second floor, a different portion of the second floor. I'm got a save point here, so that means that a boss fight is probably coming up soon. So usually the game does not have save points unless there's something important about to happen. So I used the shelter there to make sure everybody's healed up and saved it, of course. There you see the green ones I was talking about earlier at the very beginning of the factory, and there's an orange one there in there as well. I was trying to go down that ladder there, but you have to kill these enemies before you can do that. And the green ones are called alkalines. And I tried to use rocket roll thinking it would help, but it didn't really do very much, as you can see. 3, 3, and 1. Not much you can do with these guys, you just have to whittle them down. I think the acids, the orange ones, are a little bit tougher than the green ones, but they're both a pain to deal with. Alright, once you kill the enemy that triggers the computer, and that opens the hatch with the ladder for you to go down to the third floor. Another alkaline. Chrono got lucky and one-shotted it. They look kinda weird too, the alkalines. You don't get a whole lot for killing them either, so it's basically a waste of time. And we have more of them to kill. It'd be nice if rocket roll would kill all of them in one hit like it does for the other enemies, but I guess that's not going to be the case for these guys. Maybe we'll get something later in the game that can help us with that, assuming there's more of these guys later on. There might be, I don't remember. Alright, you see that red laser beam there? Obviously we can't go that direction, so we've got to turn that off somehow. We just got an upgrade for Robo, so we'll give that to him. There's a ladder there we can go down, but we're going to get this first, which is a upgrade for either character that you have except for Robo. Robo already has one equipped, so you don't need to give it to him. I put it on Chrono, obviously, since he's the main character. And this is another computer that Robo has to use, and he disables the lasers. But that triggers this to happen. Yeah, there's 5 of them. That's not good. Especially considering these guys take like 4 turns apiece to kill. And they do this. They chemically fuse together and do a AoE explosion attack that damages all of your characters at the same time. Which is not good. So as you can see, that's why I'm doing rocket roll, to try to get rid of them all as quickly as possible. So I don't want them to do a lot of damage to me. That's pretty much all they do this entire fight, is sit here and fuse with one another. I was going to do rocket roll there, but I decided I would do aura beam instead, because if they did the fuses, again, they'd probably kill one of my characters. So I'd let Chronos do Cyclone on its own. Took out 2 more of them. And now we got him down low enough where we can just finish him off with physical attacks. And finally, we're done with them. And apparently we can't go down that ladder. Or no, but we can. I just forgot to check something over there before I did that. I think the elevator and the ladder goes to the same spot, but anyways. Now we got an upgrade for Luca, who's not in our party currently, so we can't equip her. This is the one where you have to put in the Zaby code. That's XABY. That opens the door for you to go in here. That's the generator switch that you have to turn on to turn the power on back at, I think it was Protodome. And that triggers an alarm. That's not good. The robo's freaking out. So now we've got to get out of here. As quickly as possible because this is happening. And Robo holds the walls open for us to get through. And they collapse and he goes spinning around. And I tried to use the elevator, but after the alarm is triggered you can't use them, so you have to use the ladders. And I tried to use that one as well, it's about the same thing. And here is our boss fight for this area. They look like Robo, as you can see, so he thinks they're going to be his friends, but they are not, as you can tell. They said Robo's defective, and they're going to have to get rid of Robo in their opinion. Basically because he was dealing with humans and becoming friends with them, so they consider him defective. So they decide they're gonna beat him up. And as you can see, I tried to keep going in and interfering with it, but you can't do anything. You just get knocked back. Nothing happens besides you getting knocked back repeatedly. If you keep doing it, Robo will keep telling you to stop. Which is pretty funny. Even though he's getting beat up, he doesn't want you to mess with him. But not like you can do anything anyway. You just gotta wait for the scene to play out. And they shove him in this chute thing. I guess it's like a garbage chute or something like that. And they are all happy, and now we've got to fight them without Robo. So unfortunately no rocket roll, since Robo is needed. Excuse me for that. But we can use Cyclone with Chrono. That's pretty much what you should do for this, just use Cyclone, so I guess 4 times, twice on each side, and that should be good. Obviously you want to target the middle one on each side to make sure you hit all 3 of them. And just have Marley heal as needed. It's a pretty easy fight actually, despite the fact that you're down 1 character. It's kind of annoying about the multi-targeting in this game is if the enemy goes across the screen like these guys are doing, and you need to target that one, to trigger the targeting of all 3 of them, or all 4 of them, however many it is. You can't do that. You have to wait for them to get back to the group to be able to do it, which is kind of stupid. And these guys like to do this tossing ability here where they throw you around and into your other party member. That does quite a bit of damage. As you can see, I'm nearly dead. So I did the Whirl ability with Chrono and Marley to heal both of them. And they do the Punch ability as well. And I had to do Whirl again to heal them up some more, since they keep doing too much damage to me. But now we're ready to cycle on them and get rid of them. And that's it for them. We got a couple levels for our troubles. And now Marley goes into the trash chute to retrieve Robo. And we're going to take him back to Luca and hope that she can fix him. This is all done automatically. I didn't control any of this. The game does this for you. So you automatically get transported out of the factory. And they drag Robo back to the dome. And Luca's trying to fix Robo, and he's talking about to her and wondering if he can be saved and if they can save the world. And of course, Luca manages to fix him. No surprise there. And Robo decides he wants to join the group on their journey. So now we've got 4 party members on a full-time basis. And this is our gate here that we're going to use. And we're in some place we haven't been before. And Robo, of course, asks where we are. This is the end time. This is where all the gates will take you once you unlock this place, which we just did. Now, if you talk to that bucket there that I was next to, the one on the right side, I believe that is a bucket that will take you to Lavos. So you probably don't want to do that unless you're ready for the end of the game. At this point, I probably wouldn't be able to kill him anyway, even if I did try to go there. And the old man here is explaining to us about this area. So the other bucket on the left side there will restore your HP and magic. And there's a save point there, so this is a good spot to come to if you're low on health and you don't have shelters or whatnot. So now you have to decide who you want to leave behind, since you can only have 3 in your group at one time. Now I decided to stick with Robo, Marley, and Chrono. Chrono has to stay in the group, so you either have to take one of the girls out or take Robo out. Luca's much weaker than Robo, so that's why I decided to put him in. And when we get other party members, they will be here as well, waiting for us. So I tried to go in there, but you can't yet, up to the door. Over to the right, we haven't unlocked what is over there yet. So what you have to do, you have to leave, try to leave out of here, and this will happen. The old man will stop you, and you go talk to him, and he tells you to go up to the north. So that unlocks the door, and you can go in here. And this is Specchio. He teaches you magic for all your characters. Except for Robo. Robo can't use magic because he's not organic. So this unlocks the ability for you to use magical abilities. Chrono is lightning, Marley is ice, Luca's fire, Frog is water, and we haven't got any of the other characters yet, so I won't mention them. Frog's obviously not in our group currently, but he is water, and we have had him in the group previously. So you gotta walk around his room 3 times clockwise, which is left to right. I don't know if you have to stay right against the wall or not, but I did anyways. And once you've done that, you just go talk to him. And that unlocks the ability to use magic. And Specchio asks you if you want to try out your magic. And you can, but at this point in the game we can't really do much to him because he is much stronger than we are. As you can see, Nero killed Robo with 1 hit. And Robo has the most health of any of our characters at this point in the game. I think you can kill him, but you have to wait till much later in the game. And I think you get something for it, but I can't remember what it is that you get. So you're gonna sit here and fight him until your party members are dead, and you don't actually game over if you die, so you don't have to worry about that. He'll revive you, even if you die. Well, it's just gonna happen momentarily because Chrono's almost dead. So anytime you get a new character, you need to go back here and talk to him so you can get magic for that character. So that's what I'm going to do now with Luca, since she wasn't in our group yet. So we're going to switch her out temporarily, or switch her in temporarily so we can get her magic unlocked. And like I mentioned, she uses fire. So you talk to Specchio and he gives you magic. You don't have to fight him or anything. You can fight him if you want to, but you don't have to. At least not at this point in the game. So we're pretty much done here. We're just gonna switch out Robo and Luca again, because we don't want Luca in the group because she's pretty much useless at this point in the game. We haven't learned any of the dual attacks to use magic yet, so it's gonna be a while before we get those. Almost forgot to switch them out. Alright, save again since we're done here. Might as well since we're getting ready to leave. And each of these pillars of light will tell you which area you're about to go to before you click on them. There's one for Medina Village in 1000 AD, Mystic Mountain in 65 million BC, and Protodome in 2300 AD, I think it was. And here we are back in good old 1000 AD in Medina Village, and we appear in a closet type thing, piece of furniture. And there's some monsters in this house. And the monsters talk to us, and they are not trying to kill us, which is strange. These guys are called mystics. And as Marley says, mystics and humans aren't supposed to get along. And you'll see the prejudice amongst mystics against humans is still prevalent. But we'll cover that in the next video because we're done for this part. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.